We're going to talk about today how you can make your tan last as long as possible, what you can do to improve the tan on your hands and on your feet. We're also going to talk about a product that exists now that is fantastic for the face that I have found to not exacerbate dark spots. That has been the bane of my existence when it comes to facial self-tanning. Is basically I ended up looking so much older, spottier and dry and just not good. Well, there's a product on the market now that seems to not do any of that. So that's really exciting. I have been a self-tanner since the days of Coppertone QT, and we are talking, that's for me like 30 years ago. I used to get my mom's QT and turn myself basically a really beautiful shade of orange. Things have come so far. The main thing in all self-tanners is an ingredient called dihydroxyacetone, or DHA. That's how we're going to refer to it in this video. Now, there are other browning agents, but DHA is the main one, and it's been around for like 100 years, literally. And basically what happened was, just like with lots and lots of things in cosmetics, it was being used in a different way, and people discovered that it stained the skin kind of an orangey brown. And so cosmetic companies kind of took it and molded it into a product that became the self-tanner that we know today. Now, DHA basically is a sugar that when it interacts with the amino acids in your dead skin cells here, it has a browning effect. Now, that browning effect essentially stains those dead skin cells, and they stay brown until they're sloughed off by whether you exfoliate or just by the natural turnover of our skin. That is why a self-tanner lasts, like 3 to 10 days, because it takes as long as your skin to come off. That's how long the self-tanner is going to last. So just know that when you use things that accelerate that turnover, your tan will last a little bit less time. Let's talk first about how to prep your skin for self-tanning. Number one, you want to exfoliate your skin well, because those stained skin cells are going to come off. Basically what you want to do is exfoliate to the freshest layer of skin before you self-tan so that you get the longest tan. This is a step that you absolutely should not skip. The way that you want to exfoliate is the night or the day before you self-tan. Really, really important to give yourself a little bit of time. Obviously, if you're in a pinch and you need to do it all in one day, you totally can. But if you have time to plan ahead and maybe you have a big event, maybe you're going on a trip, something like that, give yourself a 24-hour window for self-tanning. Exfoliate the day before, and the way I like to exfoliate is manually. Now, most of the time I like chemical exfoliation better, but for self-tanning I really do like to do a manual exfoliation, and that means I use a product that has some kind of a grit to it, or I will use an exfoliating mitt. I will put in the description box my favorite exfoliators, and I will also link some mitts because they are inexpensive, and of course you can use them over and over and over. But the key is to do it the day before. Really, really important. You want to shave the day before as well. When you're done exfoliating the night before, when you get out of the shower, you don't want to put anything at all on your skin. You want to leave it all dry, with the exception of putting a foot mask on, a foot hydrator, a foot mask, a foot cream, something like that on your feet. This has been one of those things that I have done that really makes my feet end up so much better in the long run. Now, the one that I use is my Dermatology. This is the concentrated foot cream. I really, really like this one because it has some lactic acid. It has some other ingredients in it, urea, that are going to help to soften the skin on my feet. But it also has some ingredients in there that are going to help to, the next day when I tan, they're going to help to kind of diminish the harshness of the tanner on my feet. They also kind of just help to blur it out, and so that it doesn't get sucked up into the dry skin on my feet. I think that that has been such a game changer. When you go to self-tan the next day, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you use a tanning mitt. And I have so many. Every brand makes them. I've gotten sets off of Amazon. I have a set from Coco Eve. I had one from Saint-Tropez. So just find one that you like, because they do have different fits and stuff like that. They basically look like this. They are velvet, And on the inside, they are waterproof. So all of the tanner that you put on the mitt isn't going to get through to your hands, which is really, really important because staining the hands is such a giveaway to a self-tan. So basically what I do is I put probably 3 to 5 pumps on the mitt, not on my skin, on the mitt. You want to do small sections at a time. So basically everybody's going to have their own technique for doing this, but I'm going to tell you right now that I always put the tanner on the mitt, and that's really, really important. The times that I've made the mistake and I put the tanner on my body, you can't work fast enough. I always ended up with a few polka dots, and that is not a good look either. So I put some tanner onto the mitt, and what I do is I glide the self tanner up and I work fast in almost like stripes. Imagine a butter knife putting peanut butter on a piece of bread and you're wanting a thin bit of peanut butter. That's what you want to do with your mitt and the self tanner, is you want thin layers all around your arm, right? Once you've done that, go back in circular motions. And because you're going to work fast, you are going to end up with a nice even tan. Now it's important that you go one direction and then you do circular, and then that way you don't have stripes, you just end up with an even tan. Now notice I didn't do my hand. I always do my hands last. And the way that I do my hands is I take that mitt and I take a big old kabuki brush. I bought this one. This is from Westmore Beauty, I'm pretty sure. I've had it forever. You can use any kind of kabuki that you want. I actually put the kabuki into the mitt and get excess tanner off of the mitt after I've already been using it for a while. So it's saturated, but it's not like there's a bunch of tanner, like you can't see the mousse or anything like that. I put it on here, I take that, and I gently, without a lot of pressure, brush it onto my hand, and I get all around. And what I find that does is I get some tanner on my hands, but I don't get so much on my hands that it ends up looking super streaky or weird and funky on my hands. This is how I do my hands and my feet, and sometimes I even use it after I've done like my décolleté. I'll just go over the top and do this just to make sure that I don't have any streaking. Makes such a big difference to use this tool. I would say the tools that you have make or break a good self-tanning session. Now the other tool that I think is indispensable is a back mitt. That looks like this, and seriously, this is a game changer. So I put the tanner on this and I put it behind my back. You have to just, do it in a way that you're not dropping tanner onto the floor and whatnot. And then you just put it over your back. You do have to kind of arch your back so that you don't have like an indent at your spine. And you just go over and over and over. And I literally just sit there and get my back forever so that I know, and I kind of go sideways. You're just really trying to, it's kind of intuitive. You're trying to get all the spots on your back. But I will tell you that no matter what product you use, these two things, game changers for sure for a good tan. Now this one is from Coco Eve, and I do love it, but I have gotten them from, for example, I've gotten them from Amazon too. So you can get these, various. I will tell you the one from Coco Eve is definitely the highest quality of any of them that I've ever gotten, but they all will work. So, that is definitely something I highly, highly recommend. Well, what about your face and your neck? Like, what are we going to do for that area? Because if you're anything like me, you gave up on doing your face and your neck a long time ago, maybe even your décolleté, because it makes your age spots look worse, makes your skin look dry, makes you look older, just makes you look worse all the way around. That was me for probably at least the last 5 years. And it was such a bummer because prior to that, I used to love to use self-tanner on my face. It would give me this golden sun-kissed glow. It would even out my skin, my complexion. I have freckles and, stuff like that, which I'm fine with, but it would kind of give me that even tanned look that I can never actually achieve in the sun. And I loved it. And somewhere in the last 5 years, maybe 6 years, as my sunspots started to reveal themselves, I realized that I no longer could tan my face with self-tanner. I'm serious, I would end up looking so much worse. I would regret every single time I tried to use a self-tanner on my face. Recently, Coco Eve came out with a new product. It is their antioxidant Sunny Honey, their micro mist. I ordered this. This is not sponsored or anything like that. I ordered this and I was really excited. In fact, I waited to do this video until I could get this product and test it out because it looks really interesting to me in many ways. First of all, it uses obviously dihydroxyacetone. It uses DHA as its browning agent, but it uses a second ingredient as a second browning agent, which is erythrulose. Now, that browning agent takes a little longer to develop, but it lasts longer on your skin. It uses that DHA, which happens faster, tans you faster, but doesn't last quite as long. The combination of DHA and erythrulose is so fantastic for a long-lasting, beautiful tan. The other thing about Coco Eve is they put antioxidants into their self-tanners. That's really important because when DHA is applied to the skin, something that happens that is inevitable is the release of free radicals. Now, free radical damage is not something we want to encourage at all. And frankly, in skincare, I'm constantly trying to, apply antioxidants to my skin, and I'm trying to neutralize free radicals. So putting something on my skin that's going to cause free radicals is sort of, it's a downside. Well, if a brand puts antioxidants into the product, it is going to help to counterbalance the inevitable free radicals that get produced by the DHA interaction with your amino acids in your skin. So this has antioxidants in it as well. It also has ingredients in it that are going to help to hydrate your skin. That's really, really important because that helps to negate that dryness that you can get from DHA, and just makes your skin look a lot healthier and more beautiful than in the past when DHA could make our skin look really dry and just not good. The final thing about this product that sold me when I ordered it was the fact that it is meant to be used before your skincare. So the way that they suggest using it is misting it onto your skin, waiting 30 seconds, and going on with your skincare routine. One of the number one questions that I get about self-tanners is how do I incorporate it into my skincare routine? And honestly, it's a really hard question to answer because you got to get kind of creative if you want to self-tan, but you want to continue to do all of your skincare. The fact that they have created this like it's a skincare product that you use prior to the rest of your normal routine was really, really appealing. Now, when I did use this, just like they recommend, I found that, first of all, it played beautifully under the rest of my skincare. I did not skip anything. I applied it. I waited maybe a minute or two, and then I went on with my absolutely normal skincare routine and had a fantastic skincare / makeup day. Watched it develop over the course of the day into this gorgeous, even glow. So stinking impressed. Now, I've used it twice, and the way that I feel about the color is that I think I'll probably use it 1 to 2 times a week to maintain just kind of a healthy glow. You can use it as often as you want to build up and get whatever level of tan you want. Something that I have to mention that's really important is that it is not advisable to inhale DHA, and this is a micro mist. When I think about inhaling DHA, I think about going to like a spray tanning booth where it's all in the air and you can't avoid it. You're in there so long you have to breathe, right? The way that I get around the inhaling any DHA whatsoever is I hold my breath when I spray this on, then I step forward and I massage it into my face. I do not feel like I am breathing in a bunch of this product or anything like that, and it's so fast that I'm not really worried about that. But you really should know that there is absolutely a caution about inhaling DHA, and it's something to take into consideration with your application of this, and then also whether or not you even want to try it. That is up to you. It's just a caution, and you just need to know about it. So overall, this is a huge hit for me. The fact that I cannot see a single age spot darker, I don't look extra freckled, they don't stand out more to me than before. My complexion just looks slightly evened, golden. I'm really, really excited about it. So that was probably one of the best finds that I found in a long time. Okay, so how do you keep your tan longer? So after you shower the very first time when you're doing a body self-tan. Now this has a guide, so it's going to show you that you're brown. It develops between 2 and 6 hours. So you can actually wash this off as soon as 2 hours. But if you want it to keep developing and get darker, you can go to 6 hours or you can go overnight. So when you rinse this off, what you want to do is you want to shower it off, but you don't want to use any kind of a shower gel that first time. Basically what you're doing is you're getting in the shower to rinse off the guide, and the rest of the self tanner is going to kind of subtly keep working. The next shower, that is when you can go ahead and use your body washes, etc. The body washes that I highly recommend during self-tanning season are the ones that are oil to a foam. Now, there's definitely people who don't think you should be using any kind of oils or anything like that. The ones that I like the most, they don't have mineral oil or anything, but they're going to nourish your skin. They're going to help your skin to stay more supple. They're going to help your barrier, and they're going to help the tan look nicer longer. Full stop. So I love the one from Naturium. I also, of course, love my Aven, the Zero Calm AD. That is absolutely a favorite, especially in the summer, for making your skin look really beautiful. And one that I recently picked up is by Kopari. This is their Hydrating Vitamin C Shower Oil. It's a foaming oil. Glorious. It's beautiful. Any of those foaming oil shower gels, those are fantastic for helping to prolong the tan and make it just stay looking nicer longer. What you will want to avoid are your shower gels with salicylic acid or glycolic acid, etc., until you're at the end of the lifespan of your tan, maybe at 5, 6, 7 days. Then you can start using any of your body acids again so that you help to move along the end of your tan before you start over. So basically you can start over like every week, every 10 days or so, and you just kind of exfoliate and you start the process over. A few more tips is, if you use the Sunny Honey, if you are somebody who loves this like I do, when you open it, you have about 6 months before it is no longer good. I find that one of these lasts me an entire summer. I use probably 20 pumps when I do my whole entire body, and there's about 260 pumps in one of these bottles, so you can figure that out. I tend to get lazy. I don't do it every single week. Usually I skip a week here and there. That's just what happens. And by the end of the season, I usually am down to the end of the bottle, and that's it. I end up buying a new bottle the next year. That's how long this lasts. The other thing is about the Coco Eve that I think is really important to know is that they're vegan, they're cruelty-free. The DHA that they source is from sugar or beets. It's natural, 100% natural. I think they're the only brand to use 100% natural DHA, no synthetic. The reason why that is important is mostly about the smell. Now, all of us who have self-tanned know that baked skin smell that happens from DHA, that happens from self-tanner. That's usually the sign that you are using a synthetic DHA. So if you can look for naturally derived DHA in your self-tanning products, whether it's Coco Eve or any other product, you will get the least amount of that smell. And I find that this pretty much doesn't have that smell at all. Like, I don't notice it at all. All of the products from Coco Eve have some fragrance in them. It's important for you to know that. If you're super duper sensitive to fragrance, then it's in there. It's in the facial mist. I am loving the results of it so much that I'm going to ignore the fact that there's some fragrance in there, but you should know it. And if that's something that you are not okay with in any way, then that's not a product for you. One last tip, and I know I've already covered it, and I have it written in my notes, so I'm going to say it again. My notes are in all caps. Get the back mitt. Game changer. The back applicator is seriously such a game changer. It's so inexpensive. You can launder them. They last forever. They are one of the best tools that ever came out for self-tanning ourselves at home. I really hope that this was helpful. Let me know your favorite self-tanners in the comment section. I would love to know if any of these tips are new to you. I would love to hear if you've tried this new antioxidant micro mist from Coco Eve. always, always, always check for discounts in the description box. Anytime a brand has a sale, a brand that I really, really love, which Coco Eve is one of my favorite brands, I will always update the description box. And anytime I can get discounts for you, I will put that in the description box and try to keep it current for you. So always check there before you buy so that you never have to pay full price. I hope you are having a really wonderful day, and I will talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.